From an evolutionary perspective, man had to always compete and make themselves. The winner get the best female, the female that can carry their child and push their genes to live and avoid extinction. Nature has considered a female as a reward for a man. It is your only way to avoid extinction. Males, those who cannot find a female for themselves, they won't have children, and they will be the last station of their genes. So the nature gave the responsibility to a man to make the first move toward the woman. Nature made the female as a queen. The nature had to guarantee something very important, had to guarantee that the man will do anything, no matter what, to get a female. So the humankind will not go extinct. So the nature gave the males desire. It's called orgasm, and it's 5 times stronger than a female's orgasm. This is called orgasm gap. That's why it's always men who seek for sex. Men watch porn more than women. And it's men who make stupid moves. And sometimes can get very, very bad, like a rape. What nature has done to a male can make him like an evil, can make him obsessed with sex.
You turn the light off.
What do you want the light off for?
I just do.
Never did before.
Please, Arnold.
But from another viewpoint, women have another responsibility. Because after sex, it's woman who should worry for herself. She should worry for her child because she has to feed him and raise him and do anything to protect him. When a woman gets pregnant, life becomes harder for her. She'll be in a big, big trouble if she had sex with the wrong person. That's why in the relationships you're gonna find the woman is always reluctant, because she has to be careful and has to choose precisely the person to sleep with. She has to choose the right man, the man who will take care of her child and be loyal and can feed her and feed her baby and protect her and her baby. The men who are responsible and rich and strong seem more attractive to a woman because they are capable of what she wants. Charles Darwin has managed to discover this. It's called sexual selection, in which the members of the same sex compete for access for the opposite sex. It's usually males. And this explains why at some species we find only males who have an additional feature that females don't have or cannot have. It emerges as a result of this sexual selection. For example, when you take a look at animals, sheep for example, it's only males who can have horns, which help them to represent their strength and superiority. The bigger horns you have, the more strong and fit you are. The nature has chosen this pattern in this way. Now, with civilization, it becomes more complicated. Physical strength and appearance doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter if you are strong or not. It's more about money. The more money you have as a male, so the better the quality of the life that you can offer for your female. Women tend to reach men more to guarantee her future and her children's future. So you need to be successful and responsible. Does this mean all women are gold diggers? I say no. Actually, it's the best logical thinking from a female viewpoint. This is how nature wants it to be. But this is not always the case. And as I said, it gets very complicated with civilization. If women need to guarantee her children's future and safety, but now woman can be successful herself, can become rich herself. You don't need to have someone to protect you anymore. You're not in the jungle. And you don't need somebody that is strong, because we don't fight here. And we don't have a war. Civilization brings us to a new pattern of life, which is often against our biological programs. But in general, we came from the nature, and will be always part of the nature. And there will be always that biological side of us as a humans. No matter how much we develop, how better we get, and how much we change our way of living, will be always part of nature, and we belong to nature. Love is one of those tricks that the nature needed to use. We can say the love is the most important element here. It can change everything. It can make everything goes in the way that nature wants it to go. Desire and orgasm is the best way to make a person come together and have sex. But it's not enough. We need something to cover this. Something that can give it a meaning, gives it a reason why. A feeling makes a human blind and makes them feel they are fine and their existence has a meaning. The feeling of love was the best feeling to make two persons come together. Not only for sex process, they come to think the other one is the most important thing in their life. So love is a trap for my nature. It's like the feeling that can bring them together. When you try that feeling, you're gonna feel something very strong, something much more different than anything that you have ever experienced. It makes you live in another dimension. You feel like you are free for the first time. You feel like you are in the position that you have always wanted to be. Just a little world that is beautiful from the person that you love can change your mood totally, can change your day. When love comes, it brings these other things. Things that you may do only when you are in love.
You know what I did? The fucking distract for you! You fucking bitch! You know how fucking suffered? He fucking suffered because of you! And what have you done to my fucking house? And my fucking kids, Grace? You're fucking my brother! You're fucking my brother in my fucking house! I love you!
So the question that we can ask ourselves now is, who gets jealous more, woman or a man? Actually, it depends. It depends on which type of jealousy that you talk about. It's a sexual jealousy or emotional jealousy. When it comes to sexually, man gets more jealous. And when it comes to emotionally, woman gets more jealous. Because woman needs to reassure that her husband is loyal and will spend all of his energy only for her and for her children. And he stays with her. And he never leaves her. If any other woman approaches him emotionally, like flirting with him, talking to him, hugging him, talking to him with compliments, the woman gets jealous because it's like a threat that can might take her husband away from her, takes from her the source of protection. So that's like a red signal. Her man can be stolen from her. But when it comes to men, it's the opposite. Man doesn't get really jealous when it comes to emotional, but he gets jealous about something more serious, about what's happening sexually. He needs to be sure that the offspring comes from him, and that child that comes to life is his child, because he doesn't want to waste his energy and time on someone else's child. So that's why man has to make sure that that child carries his genes. That's why he keeps being jealous about anything sexually. If someone try to have sex with her, someone try to touch her, he gets jealous because he doesn't want that to happen. When we put all of this together, the image becomes more and more clear to us, and how nature give different characteristics to a woman and give different characteristics to a man. All of this in order to make our offspring to continue and we don't go extinct. This is how it is programmed, and this is how it is in the nature. I think that you have understood something that is very important, that the man and woman have never been in a conflict. Instead, they have been in a harmony. The nature has always made sure that there is no sort of conflict or selection between the two genders. Because any sort of conflict is like a civil war for the whole species. The men themselves cannot reproduce without women, and women themselves they cannot reproduce without men. It's a life collaboration. These species never doubt about this program. They just obey the nature and do what nature wants them to do without asking why. These mixed animals live in more harmony with the nature. Humans are thinkers. They are a little bit annoying from the nature. No, they are annoying most of the time. They always ask about their position. Why am I here? Why should I do this? Why should I even bring children to this life? This is an order from who exactly? I wanna just fuck and get away with it. There are a lot of people that have changed even their position in the nature. They don't agree with bringing people to this life. They are against this circle. Now we can see how civilization and modernity have put the woman and man in a conflict. They are no more in a harmony. Men trying to reach their highest level of masculinity and achieve or reach what they believe is the real definition of high masculinity, such as Sigma male. That they believe it is attractive, strong, independent, rich, responsible, knows what to do, and knows what to be, knows his dreams and his goals, and knows how to achieve them. They even start seeing women as a distraction for them, as a sort of a trap from the nature to bring them down and to stop them from achieving their dreams. Because nature doesn't want you to be successful, doesn't want you to be successful or billionaire. All it wants you to do, only one thing, only one mission: have sex and break somebody to this life. Have sex and break somebody to this life. The man started expressing their disapproval by getting away from any sort of distraction from women, by becoming the Sigma male. And women started expressing their disapproval by these new movements, such as feminism. They don't want to be owned by any man, and not just a body for a man to enjoy, but something more valuable. I do agree a lot with the two movements. Life is more valuable than this. But I just want to give a little advice for men who are trying to reach their highest level of masculinity. If you want to become the Sigma male or the Alpha male as you believe is the real definition of high masculinity, you should start off by stopping yourself from idolizing or worshipping any sort of thinking or a person like those big names. They may be right and they may be mistaken. Because men who get influenced easily and start worshipping big names, they have nothing to do with reasoning and pure thinking, which is an important element in high rationality.
I hate you. You were just some boy who made me laugh at a party once, and now I loathe the sight of you. In fact, if you come any closer, if you touch me or anything, I think I'll scream.
Come on, stop this, April.
Fuck you, April!
A man may see a woman as an evil if he has ever experienced cheating or being manipulated before by a woman that he loves. These experiences might create false images on a woman in general. Our brains love to generalize. It's hard to explain to your brain that my experiences are just my own experiences and not the laws of life. In a life that is full of boredom and anxiety and depression, a woman becomes the source of your happiness. She becomes everything of your life, literally like a light. Absence of light entails darkness. If she leaves, she stays. She stays as the source of your pain. The feeling of emptiness that's gonna lead to a severe depression. The constant feeling of pain that is always linked to her, always linked to her image when it comes to your mind. This correlation between her image and the constant feeling of pain makes you start seeing her as the devil. The sex is the origin of all the evil, because too simply we can say that love serves sex. As we have explained, love was just a mechanism by the nature, a feeling of being important and have a purpose.